Here you go, sir. Take a seat. The one and only Don Marfan. I got the fights here for you, so you don't have to rush off, you know. Yeah, if you got to bounce at any point to help Mr. Martin Fraser, feel free. Slide that mic up to you.
Hello.
Mate, another dominant performance from the one and only Don Marfan. Is that went exactly how you thought it would go?
Yes. I didn't think it was going to be that quick. I predicted it in my quote. I said, look, either I'm going to destroy him with elbows on the ground, or as he's coming up, I'm going to snatch up a neck, and that's exactly what happened, right? I'll force you to choose which one you want, right? Are you going to risk this submission, this fight ender, or are you going to risk me like breaking your face and cutting you open? And I think, especially like after my last fight, I think, you know, people were already thinking about that threat more. Anyone watching the tape is going, like, there's a little bit of extra fear, you know? Like, it's not just, oh, I lose this fight. It's my face gets opened up, you know?
Yeah, no, very much so. Like, I mean, I even put up the Tim Rogers cut that you did, and that's the only one of many that you've done. It's like you are changing faces. You're probably one of the most, me and your teammate Blair Batag were talking, you're probably the most violent grappler. Do you take pride in that?
Yeah, 100%. I say it all the time. I'm the most exciting grappler in Australian MMA, you know? Like, I want to make grappling great again, you know? Like, I'm not about the lay and pray. I'm about violent. There's a reason why I take someone down, right? It's not so I can win the round. The reason is so I can hurt you really bad, or I can take you out of consciousness.
Yeah, it's very true. I feel like people get misconstrued with thinking like, oh, if you grapple, it's boring. We only want to see strikers. When you watch you grapple, it is more exciting than most people standing.
Yes.
It really, really is. And it's like, in situations with Tom Pratt, who I personally didn't think, like, I think he's going to be great. I think he's really, really talented, but I was a bit surprised that matchup happened. How did the Tom Pratt fight happen? Did you get offered any other names, or how did that situation even come
we got offered that. Why were you surprised at that?
I just thought, because you had the Luke Daly fight, I thought maybe that was going to get matched again. I know he's had a little bit of shoulder issues, but I think he would have been potentially good to go. I'm not too sure with that. But that seemed more where I feel like, you know, we talk about A-side, B-side type thing. It feels like you had a lot to lose with this matchup, and Tom had a lot to gain as he was making his name off of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you know, he's 4-1. Like, he's...
very talented,
you know.
very talented, but just the guy... You've had 2 shots at Quillan Salkilld, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been around, you're that guy type thing, where I don't think you realise now, like, you're the guy to fight at lightweight that isn't Harry Webb, you know?
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I bring that up...
Yeah.
Because he's the man with the belt, Harry Webb.
Yep.
Is that the fight that's next?
I'm keen on it. Yeah. Look, the only reason I'm reluctant to call for the fight is because, very unfortunately, I've had 2 pullouts in my career, and one was against Harry Webb because I broke my orbital a week out, and then the other was against Luke Daly, his teammate, when I did my rib. And it feels disrespectful to call for a fight. I know that if I was one of those guys, and then someone who had pulled out twice on our team started calling me out, I'd think that they're being a fuckhead, you know? I'd go, oh, here we go, like another. So look, it's a fight that I'd love to happen, but that's the only reason I'm reluctant to call out for it. It feels disrespectful. And I know he's also coming off an injury. It feels, I don't know, something feels icky about it.
Does it feel like maybe you have to earn it, like fighting Luke Daly first?
To be honest, Luke Daly's, it sounds bad, but like his record doesn't excite me. I think it's going to be. Last time we talked, you said there was a bit of an A-side, B-side thing. Now he's lost since then. It seems like it would only be more A-side, B-side in people's minds. Now, again, I actually do think Luke Daly's got a lot of skills on him.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but I think it looks.
Doesn't
like,
mean I'm not going to spin it, but
take it out of context.
No, but I know what you're saying. Like, businessy wise, profile wise, I get it. But you, more than anyone, respect Luke Daly's ability.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty clear with what you're saying. But you're at an important part of your career where you are almost like, you know, every other great NBA player that had to play against Michael Jordan. You had to play against Quillan Salkilld, which is not fair because he'll probably be a world champion. So in that sense, they're the losses that you're sort of coming up against. So unless it's Harry Webb, I don't know who else is there for you in that sense.
I was actually thinking about it the other day, and I'm pretty sure I'd have to check the scorecards, but I don't think I've lost a round to anyone that's not Quillan Salkilld since 2019. You know? So, like, all my pro fights, I don't think I've lost a round. I can't pick a single one where I've lost a round. So, look, Quillan's phenomenal. He's in the UFC. I think it's great. Whenever he does well, it makes my stock rise a little bit as well, in a weird way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's exactly where I'm going to be going as well. I'm going to be going to the UFC. There were some things I needed to sort out mentally that were kind of holding me back in fights, and I feel like it's becoming obvious that that's no longer the case. I used to kind of like, you'll see the point in like that Quillan fight where I just switched off. There's a significant point where it's like the lights are on but no one's home.
Yeah.
And it was a problem that used to happen in the training room as well. And I just couldn't get out of it. But I've been working with a mindset coach, Eric Simmons, who's also my original wrestling coach. And we've been working on that problem heaps. We've been trying to get way better at it, and it's pretty much never happening in the training room.
Yeah.
I was just saying in an interview over there, whenever I would start having a bad training session, the rest of the training day was just fucked. Like, it would all go downhill. But that's not the case anymore. I feel like I've mended that issue.
How'd you fix it?
There's different tools that I won't give away Eric's secrets, you know, because like he's looking for different clients and stuff.
But a lot like visualization, all that sort of stuff. Like.
Kind of like little, not quite visualization, but little mental tricks, even physical cues that I can give myself to get myself back in the zone, get myself back in the flow state, that I practice habitually throughout the camp as like a little bit of a ritual.
Well, who was your coach? Who is he again? So everyone knows.
Eric Simmons.
Yep.
So he was my original wrestling coach. And he was a NCAA D1 wrestler, which is a huge part of my my style, right? You'll see that like my style of wrestling is very riding, very almost American style.
Because you pop out, you always pop out the back, like you like to shuck out the back.
Yeah, and I'm grabbing that wrist, I'm punching, I'm riding them back down. You can see the American folk style influence.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. That's awesome. It's good to see that you sort of like peaking again as well. And like you said, you climb the mountain, get to Quillan, and fuck, and you back down again. Then you climb back up again, you got to Quillan again, you're like, fuck. And then you climb it back up again. And I feel like this is kind of like the real, like I said, the Webb fight makes a lot of sense. If that doesn't happen, and because I'm unsure of kind of where he's at, I know that he's at least back to hitting pads and looking like a stud like always.
Yeah, right.
And he's fit as anything. But in terms of, like, if he's not available and Daly doesn't sort of have that much interest to you, is there anyone else that sort of you think like that really pops out? Because like I really do mean, I feel like you are at the top now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just saying again in the interview over there, I have a list on my phone of a bunch of names, but like they're kind of lost to me at the moment. And I've kind of sent them through to my manager a bunch of times and be like, get me one of these like people. I want to be able to fight them. I'd love to fight like a guy like Becker. Actually, Tom Pratt's cornerman, Blake Donnelly. Yeah. I think that'd be a really cool fight.
That would actually be a great fight.
It's cool as well because, you know, like...
You do deserve that name. That's kind of what I'm getting at as well.
Yeah.
You deserve the Beckers. You deserve the Blake Donnellys.
Yeah.
You deserve that fight. You really do.
Yeah, and he's good. He's beaten one of my teammates, David Martinez, twice, you know, and I know David's good. So that's an impressive thing in itself, and I'd love the chance to be able to fight someone like that. I'd really like to fight some of these really high caliber guys before I go international. And I feel like if I keep finishing people fast and like violent like I have been, I don't think it should be too long before I get to go international.
Oh, so you're not trying to rush it. That's really good. That's really smart. I think it's probably part of the whole mental game as well. Right? I think you're doing a really good job of that. Well, I mean, mate, before I let you go, is there anything else that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to?
Not really.
Yeah,
I'm pretty empty-headed. Yeah.
You say a lot of words.
Yeah. I've said all the things already. So
said all the words.
Yeah.
Well, mate, you bloody deserve it. You're a great dude.
Thank you, bro.
And it's just so good for your team, Team Compton. I reckon you guys should open the doors more often. You guys are a tight-knit team, but you've got a really good vibe there. I really like it. So obviously get around Blair. He fucking fought amazing. Yeah. Actually, before I let you go, what's it like when your teammate loses, you win? You're going to go back in like, woo!
Yeah. Oh, man. I didn't watch the fights. Like, I didn't watch, Ethan's fight. I didn't watch Blair's fight. I'm just too invested.
Yeah.
And I can't do that when I'm that close to fighting myself. Yeah, I don't know. I've done it in the past, and I've had like almost massive adrenaline dumps from my teammates winning or my teammates losing, and it gets in my head too much.
Yeah.
So I got to be a little bit selfish around fight time. You know, like I'm kind of when I'm in the warm up room, I'm there for myself. Again, as selfish as that sounds, but you know, whenever there's plenty of times where I get to come in corner and I get to be like selfless and put myself on the line for the teammates. But whenever I'm fighting, I need to make sure that I'm the only one that I'm focusing on. I will go watch all the fights of like all my teammates before I go to sleep tonight. I've been super eager to, like, I keep picking up my phone to do it and going, no, I told myself I wouldn't. No, I told myself I wouldn't every time. And it's been
well, it worked out. It worked out for you, man.
Yep.
What you're doing is doing really well. So once again, thank you, and we'll chat next time.
Thank you, sir. Us.
Hey, brother.